chains that bind me. Happiness will find me. Leave the past behind me. Today my life begins a whole new world.
Hiya, nice to see you again. Hope you're alright from last time I saw you. If you're new to the channel, I'm reading through my book, Look How I Help You. You can either pop in and out of any video that I've done, because it's just different titles every week, or you can start from the beginning and work your way through. So we're on about the serious issues. I think we did about forgiveness last time, so I've got to just find, sorry about this, I should be more organised. Yeah, we're on a life crisis, so I'm just going to carry on and start and just see where it takes us. So, life crisis. Sometimes you can let a midlife crisis, or just generally a life crisis, sorry about that, I've got my nose, ruin all that you've made and built around you in your life. Even breaking up your family, friends. Please do not do this. Instead, consider all the other options before changing your life. So basically with that, a lot of people do hit middle age, which I have now. And, you know, you question everything. You look at your life, you see where you are. That's a really positive thing, because obviously you want to make sure you're where you want to be, who you want to be with, and everything's how it is. But then it could also backfire where you start becoming selfish, and then you make the wrong decisions and think, maybe you think you want your cake and eat it, if you know what I mean. Start going out, meeting new people, and not realise what you've already got because you've taken it for granted. So it's a really delicate subject when you have a midlife crisis, or any crisis, any part of your life, which you can have at any age. And sometimes you think about these things not just in a midlife crisis, but in other times of your life. Make sure it's really what you want, and look at everyone around you, especially your family, and see how much you take them for granted, like I just said. Try it afresh with your family before making any rash decisions. Remember and look at all the positive things in your life. Look at what you love in this life. A lot of people have a midlife crisis around 40, 50 years old. Please do not let this age or any age get you down. As you know, there are always going to be people who are older than you. When you think about this, it can make you feel a little better. Everyone will be the same age one day. Also, it's true that with age really does come some advantages. So, you know, basically realising that we're all in the same boat, we're all getting older, and we're all on the same journey, but just different experiences. So it's just not jumping into something or ruining something that's perfectly fine, or could just, you know, maybe you need to work on yourself. It's not just about like the normal routine. Maybe you need to freshen it all up. Maybe you need to start fresh with your family. You know, it's just being sure before you do anything. I mean, if it's not the right situation, then obviously you're going to have to do something. So the thing with age, I've got a list of things that is a positive with age. So confidence is like a major positive. We always get more confident the older we get, and the more life experience we have. And this is so true. I love being this age because of that reason. When I was young, I was very shy and wouldn't have said boo or thought of anything. But now I'm so strong-minded, confident. It's a lovely feeling to be middle-aged. So look forward to it if you're younger. And if you are middle-aged, then we've got to appreciate what we've got, realise we've got all that experience and wisdom, and it's a nice age to be. Don't look at just the negative, look at the positive. So life experience is the second one. You cannot beat living for 30, 40, 50, and then you can carry on 60, 70, 80, 90 or more years for life experience, so that you feel settled in the world. This is like, you know, so fantastic life experience. You learn so much. Also, nothing's as scary. That's number 3, being scared. It's not as scary because when you're young, you're a lot more scared of things, like childhood fears, and you've mostly dealt with all your fears getting into your adulthood because you've had to face what you're scared of or what makes you nervous, and without knowing it you become stronger and you can deal with it, and it's not such a big deal. I mean, I always had a fear of spiders, and that's just like a superficial thing, but I learned how to put them in a glass, put a piece of cardboard underneath, because I don't want to kill anything living, anything at all. So I put it in a glass, and it's so much easier just to, as long as you've got the glass, you're not touching anything, or it can't touch you. So if you put the glass over it, then get your card and slide it under like this. So then you're holding it, and then you grab both, take it outside, and then if you're scared, you can just put it down and leave it, and move the piece of card away, and then the spider goes. So in that way, it's become easy, and it's not scary, and I can do it with like big spiders like this, as long as they fit in whatever size you've got. I could do it with little jumpy spiders because it'll jump in the jar. So that's something that I'm not scared about. But obviously the really serious issues as well, you can kind of, not that you ever get over it, or maybe you're still scared, but somehow it will have eased just a little bit. Knowing what to do, you know, and understand how to do most things, like, you know, the basics like cooking. I hope you know how to do this when you're middle-aged. Cooking, washing, bills, maybe the car maintenance. If you have children, then you've gained a whole variety of skills from having children. Organisation, having to, you know, do loads of appointments, obviously looking after someone who's vulnerable and relies on you for their life, you know, and their livelihood. So that's a massive like experience of life. And then the other thing is appreciating things more. I think when you get older you appreciate stuff more. So that's just in general, you're more appreciative, I hope. Well, that's what I found. You worry a little less about things. I mean, I do. It might be different for everyone else, but when you're younger, I think you worry tenfold, like the tiny little things, especially if you've got boyfriend, friends, this little teeny weeny thing, and you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? They said this, they said this. As you get older, none of that. I think. You don't worry about what people think as much, which was my biggie. That's again about the confidence. I hated thinking, what do people think of me? Now, I think that's part of getting older. It doesn't bother me as much, and that's like a really positive thing. Understanding people. You understand people a little more. It takes this long to figure out why people are the way they are. This will make you more relaxed around people. I mean, I figured out, like, people are complicated, put it that way. The main thing I figured out is people always think they're right, even when they're wrong, and everyone's got their own opinion, so everyone sees things differently to you. So you either have to be really good at communication and explain things so people don't get offended, or you need to be more understanding to see their point of view, and then you're like, oh, I understand, so then you won't get offended. And it's just a big, communication is a big thing. And texting, it can just, that I'm doing one soon about texting, but that causes a lot of rows, because when you text, it's just like you talk in a certain way where there's no expression, so you can take it anyway. But when you talk like I am, you can hear what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, because I could be like this, or I could be like this, or I could be like this. So depending on how I talk is how you're going to understand me. But when you're texting, you can't understand how it's coming across, so you might jump to the wrong conclusion, put it that way. So that's it for now. Now I've took ages on that, so I think I'm going to leave it, because I only like to do sort of 10-minute videos. And then next time we're going to do about not giving up, which is like really important, not giving up on life or yourself. And then we've got about judging others and being jealous and envious. So that's the next two. And then we've got some more serious things, which is life stumbling blocks after that, which is like another serious issues, which we'll go through. So for now, I'll leave that one, which was on life crisis. So just remember, there's no crisis really, unless you let life get on top of you and you find it too much to cope with. And you should always speak to someone, speak to family, speak to friends, speak to a professional before it gets to that point where you can't cope. There's always people out there to help you. Always write things down. That's great to get it off your chest. Write it down, you'll feel better. And realise that there's lots of people in the same position. So you can always talk to them as well, or anyone that's been through it. There's so many people you can find now with your phone that, you know, that you couldn't in the old days. You know, I never had a phone when I was growing up, so you couldn't find it. You had to go to the library if you want to find out anything. But for now, you can just get your phone and find it all out, find the contacts, find the people to help you, which is fantastic. So just don't sit there stewing over it all. You know, yeah, just try and do something positive about it so that you don't go downhill. You know, if not, you could just get worse and worse in your head where you're overthinking it, and then even though it's not that bad, you make it into something really bad in your head, and then you feel depressed, and then it's a knock-on effect, and then all the rest comes into it. So just try and get that extra support, okay? And I'll see you soon. It's lovely seeing you again. I really appreciate you watching. I would like to send you love and light as well, and I'm going to read the back of my book like I always do. So here we go. Be love. If we are but a breeze on the wind, let us float to where we need to be. Open our eyes so we can see. If we are stars shining bright, let us shine the brightest we can, so that we are full of light. If we are a note in a musical, let us be clear and sweet to the ear, so that everyone is able to hear. And if we are a soul who's on a journey, let us walk with love and be love. Well, thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.
Thank you for love, thank you for light. You chase away my darkest days. Together we will rise and fight through every storm and